before you skip, this is not just a history video. This is a story of fear, failure, and unimaginable courage. A story where silence killed and heroes rose in the darkest hours. Watch till the end, and let the burn-in subtitles help you learn English while you witness one of the most powerful stories of our time. This is Pripyat, a city that once lived, laughed, and dreamed. Founded in 1970 for the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, it was modern, it was proud, it was alive. But in a single night, everything changed. A single mistake that made entire city a haunted place. On April 26, 1986, Reactor 4 at Chernobyl was undergoing a safety test. The night shift was led by Deputy Chief Engineer Anatoly Dyatlov, a strict man pushing the team to complete the test quickly. The Soviet Union was under intense pressure to prove its strength as a global nuclear power. In the race to showcase technological progress, safety was often compromised for speed and cost. The reactor design itself had flaws, like control rods with graphite tips that worsened the situation during the test. As power surged uncontrollably, an explosion tore through the reactor building, sparking the worst nuclear disaster in history. This disaster can be called as some sorts of silent, as nuclear radiation doesn't just kill instantly, it poisons the earth, the air, and time itself. After the Chernobyl explosion, a black radioactive cloud hovered for days. It blocked sunlight, turned the skies dark. Let me explain how deadly the radiations were. The first firefighters at Chernobyl weren't just fighting flames, they were walking into deadly radiation. Within hours, their bodies began to break down. Nausea, burns, internal damage, signs of acute radiation syndrome. 28 men died within weeks. Nurses like Lyudmila Ignatenko watched their husbands, firefighters, die slowly from radiation burns, not allowed to touch them, not allowed to cry. Their bodies were still radioactive after death. To stop the spread, each was placed in a zinc-lined coffin, then buried under nearly 2 meters of concrete, sealed inside a grave built to contain radiation for decades. The clothes of patients and workers are still buried under the basement of hospital. What had happened till now is still the beginning. Molten nuclear fuel was burning down, heading toward a huge pool of water beneath the reactor. If the two met, it could have caused a second explosion, far more powerful than the first. It might have destroyed half of Europe. To stop it, 3 men volunteered for a mission: Alexei Ananenko, Valery Bespalov, and Boris Baranov, the Suicide Squad. They waded through radioactive water, found the valve, and drained the pool. Just in time, they saved millions of lives, and possibly the world. For nearly 2 days, the world knew nothing. Then, in Sweden, radiation alarms went off at a nuclear plant. But their reactors were fine. The source? Chernobyl. Only then did the Soviet Union admit something had gone wrong. Back in Pripyat, people were living life as usual, unaware they were breathing poison. 36 hours after the explosion, buses finally arrived. Over 49,000 people were told to leave everything behind, forever. What followed was a ghost city and the creation of the 30-kilometer exclusion zone, where life could no longer survive. The official toll? 31. But the truth runs deeper. Thousands suffered, sickened, and died in silence over the years. Then came the liquidators. The people who knew that it is going to take their lives but still served the nation and humanity. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers, scientists, and workers sent in to clean the mess, knowing the cost. They bulldozed homes, buried forests, scrubbed rooftops, and built walls of steel and concrete. Some returned, most never did. The radiations were so that the robots and electronic system deployed to clean up the highly radioactive debris. They became useless as they got disabled in hours. As of now, the ruined reactor is covered with 2 layers of giant steel and concrete cover built by Soviets called sarcophagus. But the original sarcophagus was built in fear and with heroism. But Chernobyl was not just a disaster of machines. It was a failure of leadership, lies, cover-ups, wrong people in charge. It wasn't just the reactor that exploded, it was trust. And it cost thousands of lives. That's why it matters who makes the decisions. Why good people, honest people, brave people must hold power. Because one wrong choice at the top can destroy millions at the bottom. If this video gave you value, if you learned something or felt something, fuel me by subscribing. Let's grow, learn, and honor real stories together.